guys, today I'm back with another get ready with me video. I've got a ton of new makeup, the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, Marc Jacobs Shameless foundation, the Balm bronzers, just tons of stuff to play with. I know I did one of these last week and I feel like I've seen a bit of chatter about like, what's the point of first impressions, which some of these aren't first impressions, some of them are second and third, but I really enjoy them. They're some of my favorite to watch. They're my favorite to film. It's kind of just like a makeup playtime. Like, not everything I do has to be super educational and informative in my opinion. I just love sitting down, watching someone else play with makeup while I do my own makeup. So let me know what you think, but it's just also a really good way for me to be able to figure out what new products you're interested in and all of that good stuff. And I've also got some skincare here too, so we're gonna do some makeup prep. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't know why I always choose to wear off-shoulder shirts when I'm filming. I find them super flattering in person, and then I'm also just spending the whole video trying to make sure that I don't look naked, because I get so annoyed when I watch YouTube videos and the people look like they're naked. I'm like, you knew you were filming, so why are you wearing a strapless shirt? Like, I most times click away because I can't handle it when people look naked. So I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm doing it. But I'm starting out with a serum. It's a super lightweight serum. I have been really enjoying it. I haven't played around much with Pixi skincare, but this is the Pixi Skin Treats Rose Caviar Essence, and it is the encapsulated moisture serum, and it feels so good. Normally I would do all of this makeup prep about 30 minutes before my makeup. I would do all my skincare, but because I wanted to film it, I'm going to be kind of putting it all together, and I will be letting it set into my skin in between layers. You just won't be able to tell because I cut that out, but this is really nice. It feels moisturizing and it has that nice rose scent, but nothing that's too floral, and it does leave my skin feeling hydrated because I have had a little bit of dryness around active breakouts recently. Then for my under eyes, I'm going to be using the Sunday Riley Brightening and Depuffing Eye Contour Cream. This is their Auto Correct, and I've used this a couple times now and I really like it. I find with eye cream sometimes it's hard to get excited about them because you're just, I don't know, they claim such big things sometimes, but this one I have been really enjoying. It just feels really moisturizing under the eyes. I like it for day and night, and I really do feel like, you may not be able to tell on camera, but I really do feel like it adds a little bit of smoothness to the under eyes, and not necessarily brightness, but it does just kind of like zhuzh things up and make them look a little bit better. For my moisturizer, I'm using the Olay Whips in the Luminous. There's 3 different formulas. What I like about this is that it has SPF. I probably took too much. What I like about this is that it has SPF. So they have a version with and without SPF for each of the kind of ones in their line, and I find a lot of the moisturizers that I really enjoy don't have SPF. This is a little bit thicker than some of the ones that I've recommended in the past. I'll have links down below to some of my favorite moisturizers, but it's thicker, but at the same time it's not thick, if that makes sense. It doesn't like immediately melt into your skin, but it does have a really nice lightweight feel, and Olay seems to be kind of rebranding, trying to go a little bit more youthful. It doesn't have that kind of typical Olay smell, and the SPF 25 is such a bonus. It doesn't smell like SPF. So now that that's all done, I'm gonna briefly go in and spot conceal. I'm using the Benefit Boing Concealer, and I'm using that new Marc Jacobs foundation today. I did test it out yesterday without a spot concealer, so today I just want to test it with a spot concealer, and then I will do a review. I just want to get a little bit more time with it, so that'll probably go up next week. Stay tuned for that. And I've really been liking spot concealing with like a kind of fluffy eyeshadow brush with a thicker concealer, because I feel like it lays on a nice little layer, but it blends out easy. It doesn't get too heavy or cakey, and it just kind of slightly evens the skin tone. I'm not looking to like totally eliminate anything. This foundation, the Marc Jacobs one, seemingly is a pretty medium coverage, so I just want to see how it plays. So here we have it, the Marc Jacobs Shameless foundation. It says it is self-setting, oh, where does it say that? Self-setting finish, flashback-free innovation, youthful only better. So I picked mine up in the shade medium 390. It was a total guess. They have this chart online, and if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen me talking about this, but they have a chart online that shows a dot of the foundation up against like a girl who would potentially look like you, so you can try and figure out the shade. Awesome, but they don't tell you what the shade is in that chart, so I'm like counting the chart, trying to figure out which girl I look like, and then on top of that, it just annoyed me to no end that again, they've changed the naming convention because I was like, perfect, new Marc Jacobs foundation, I'm Honey 58 or whatever it is, and then it was like Y3 something, and I'm like, oh my god, at least give me a guide, let me buy your products. Anyways, I think this is an okay shade match. I probably could have maybe went a shade darker, but I'm always picking out the wrong shade, always going darker than what I am, so I feel like I can bronze this up. And I used my e.l.f. So at first I used my hands yesterday. It is a water-based foundation, so I thought maybe it'll be like the Estee Lauder. This is going to be a chatty video, I can tell. I'm just talking your face off. But I used my hands with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Water Nude or whatever, and I really like my hands with that. With this, I did not like my hands. With that being said, I am having a lot of skin issues right now. My skin is not playing very nicely. So then I tried my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. Didn't like that, which is crazy because I love that brush with everything. So today, I'm going to try a sponge, even though I know a lot of people don't like sponges with water-based foundations. And then I also have my, I'm talking a mile a minute. Sometimes people are like, why are you talking so fast? Like, who's chasing you? I'm like, nobody. I'm from East Coast Canada. You're listening slow. So I have this Liz Wattier sponge, and it feels nice. It feels slightly denser than a beauty blender, but definitely feels quite good. So I'm going to try a sponge on this side, and then I have the Real Techniques buffing brush, which is a little bit less dense, and maybe I'll try that on the other side to see if maybe it just, the Ultimate Blending Brush was too dense. But it has a lot of shades in the range. I really love the Marc Jacobs Remarkable. I reviewed that in the 12 Days of Foundation. I'll link to that down below if you're curious. But I will do a review on this. So I actually like it with the sponge. It seems like it is lessening the coverage. Like, from what I could tell, it's a super true medium, which I'm okay with. I don't need everything to be full. Even while I do have breakouts, like, I'm not caking up my face. I'm not trying to hide it. I actually prefer something more medium with a little bit more of a skin-like finish, because it just, if you go too matte and too full coverage, like, you can still see the bumps on your skin. Like, you're not fooling anybody, right? So I'd rather just look like I have healthier skin with bumps as opposed to like dry cakey skin with a ton of bumps that looks like you can't see any of the redness. So I actually quite like that with a sponge. If I had great skin, this would look beautiful. But everything looks beautiful on great skin. So that looks quite good, but let's try it with the Real Techniques brush. That being said, I did use quite a bit of product. It doesn't have a pump, so I can't tell you like exactly what, but I used about, if you can see, I used about that much. Okay, I think they both look good with either brush, with either tool. So I didn't love it with a dense brush. Oh, I forgot. I have this Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer mist that I meant to use, because yesterday I felt like I had a little trouble blending it out. It looked so matte on my skin that I like couldn't blend it almost. And I was like, maybe I'll use that primer mist to move it around, but I'm not having that issue today. So I think this looks really good so far. Definitely having a better experience with it today than I did yesterday. It is slightly more yellow and I'm a little more golden, but overall the shade does feel quite nice. And it blended out beautifully. I think the finish on the skin is so nice. I'm just wishing I didn't have all of these bumps, but it looks so good. For my under eyes today, I'm going to be using this from Becca. It is part of their, I think they re-released this, but it is their under eye brightening corrector. This one is in the shade medium to deep. They also have a light to medium. I think they could definitely come out with another deeper shade of this. Something more orange, although they do have an orange corrector, but I don't think it's like, it's not technically part of this line. So it would be nice to see something even a little bit deeper. I have used this about twice. It's quite creamy. It's creamy but thinner than like the Benefit one. I think it does a nice job with color correcting, but it again could be a little bit deeper even for my skin tone, I think, to truly correct. Then I have a new concealer. This is from Ulta. I mentioned this in a recent American Drugstore haul, which will be linked down below. This is their full coverage waterproof concealer. Oh, it's a little dark for me. Oh man. And I ain't got no Ulta near me because Canada. So this is a little bit deeper than what I would normally go for under the eyes. It does feel really nice though. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of, say it with me now, Shape Tape. So to set my under eyes, I'm gonna be using the Rodial Insta Glam Banana Powder. I started my brows as well, if you're wondering why they look different. And this I just got It's, if you've heard of Murale, they're like associated with Shoppers Drug Mart, kind of beauty boutique, and they have some physical stores along with online, and they've got a really good kind of gift with purchase right now. So they sent along their gift with purchase to show me what was inside of it, and it's got, I think it's, you spend $125 in between the 22nd and the 7th of March, and you get like 350 bucks of stuff in this cute bag, and it actually is like good stuff. Like they've got this banana powder in there, there's a mini Stila liquid lipstick, there's some masks, some perfume samples, like a whole bunch of good stuff. It's a good way to try things out, or if you had been eyeing something at Murale anyways, it might be a good time to pick something up. And I like everything I've tried from Rodeo, actually. Their skincare and makeup is quite nice. So I'm just setting my face with the MAC Studio Fix powder, obviously not new. Just wanted to build up the coverage, and because this is a little bit more of a dewy foundation, and because I want to build coverage, I'm using my e.l.f. powder brush and stamping it into my skin. So I'm not moving anything around, I'm just building coverage. I don't feel comfortable enough to go in and kind of buff things. So I just want to mattify, even though it says it is self-setting. There's so many factors to a foundation, right? Outside of like your own personal skin and body chemistry, just like the products you use underneath, the products you use on top. So I'm having such a different experience with it today than I did yesterday. I primed my eyes with the Annabelle eyeshadow primer, which I absolutely love, and now we are going to do our eyes. Our eyes? My eyes. It is the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I just swatched this. It's beautiful. I love Modern Renaissance. Like, great that there's dupes out there, but I will always be loyal to the Modern Renaissance and Anastasia. I think they create amazing products, and I was really happy to support this launch and buy this product from the Anastasia website, paid out the butt for customs and shipping. Anyways, myself and Aisha split the order, so it kind of made it a little easier. Anyways, this feels gorgeous. I think it's going to be a really popular palette. To me, first impressions is this is going to become the naked palette of like our time, if that makes sense. You know how for a while there, I guess it's a little bit different now that people use so many eyeshadows, and you know, people aren't just reaching for the same eyeshadow palette every day necessarily, or people are more interested in what's happening. But you know how like the naked palette was what everybody recommended all the time. It was like the neutrals. I think these are kind of like more representative of the neutrals that people look for now. Things that are a little bit warmer, but it's not like straight up orange. It's not too aggressive either way, and I think that this will satisfy a lot of people. So I don't know. Those are a lot of big statements for someone who has never put this on their eyes, but let's do that now. So I'm going to start with the shade Tempera, which is in the Modern Renaissance palette, and just set my eyeshadow primer. And there are some repeat shades in here, but that doesn't really bother me. I mean, if it bothers you because you already have them, then like you don't need to buy it. But for me, it doesn't really bother me because I think they put in some good shades, and they think they put in enough new shades that it is a new palette. Of course it's dupeable, but for me, I just want to have everything in one place. I'm gonna put a little orange soda in the crease, and I forget what palette exactly this came out in, orange soda. I don't know if it was like one of the first Amrezy palettes or what it was, but orange soda was always a shade that I looked at and I was like, I love that. And unfortunately, I don't think it really pulls very orange on my skin. I don't think it's deep enough for me. Oh my god, so sad. I said such nice things about you. Okay, let's go in with burnt orange. Just want to add a little bit of warmth and definition in there. I think orange soda would be more something that I wouldn't use for definition. I would use it like to go over something like this, to add a little bit more warmth and kind of blend it up and fade it. Ah, I dug my nail into a shade. I dug my nail into Tempera. I don't even have long fake nails. Why? Next I'm going in with Sienna. Just placing this on the outer corner and up into the outer V. And let me know if you'd like a 3 looks 1 palette on this. I'm actually getting ready to go to Newfoundland in like a day or two. When you're watching this, I am in Newfoundland. So I did want to kind of talk about this palette because it is launching soon on Sephora's website as well. I think it's March 6th or something. But if you do still want to see a 3 looks 1 palette with it, let me know. And then you'll get 4 looks out of me. So I'm taking the shade Bronze on my finger, which it doesn't actually look that bronze, but it is so pretty. This is not a wet finger, not a sticky eyelid, nothing. And from what I can tell, this seems to be the pretty typical formula for Anastasia. I actually prefer the shimmers in this so far more than I do in the Modern Renaissance. My camera cut me off, I don't know when, but I was saying that I prefer the shimmers in this so far at first impression more than I do in the Modern Renaissance. The Modern Renaissance shimmers never really got me going. It was the mattes and just the combination of shades, but this seems to have a little bit of a stronger shimmer in there. If that's what you were kind of hoping for, you got it. And then I'm going to take a little of glistening here as well. And glistening is just such a beautiful soft champagne with a little peachiness in there. I think I do want to do a 3 looks 1 palette on it, so I hope you want to see it because there's like kind of pinky shades in there too. It's really pretty. On the lower lash line, I'm taking a combination of burnt orange and orange soda, running that all the way under, and then some sienna on the outermost corner to kind of connect. So I did a quick little wing, and now I'm going to go in with mascara. I'm using the Benefit Bad Gal Bang, as if you haven't heard enough about this already. But I did want to show it to you in action in a video. I know I've done a blog post and Instagram, but the majority of you are here. And what I wanted to mention about this mascara is that it's deceiving because the brush is so small that you'd think you can just go to town and pile it on like you would the majority of thin bristle kind of plastic hard brushes, but it's incredibly volumizing. Sorry, it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. It's incredibly volumizing, so you need to move a little bit slower or lightly, or it's also quite wet, so it just builds very quickly. So I would say go in light layers, kind of like wriggle it up your lashes. But I have really liked it. I find it gives lots of volume, lots of length, super black, really long lasting like you would expect from the Benefit mascaras. I hadn't used a Benefit mascara in a while, and I forgot when I went to take it off. I was like, whoa, right, this takes a lot more effort. Which is good if you have watery eyes. I don't have any issues with transfer or anything like that. So I have 2 bronzers here that I want to use. I was hoping one would be a little more cool tone, one would be a little more warm, so I could do like a bronzing contour thing, but they're both kind of warm, but I'm going to use them both anyways because I'm curious. So the first I have is the Anastasia bronzer. This one is in the shade Rich Amber, and I haven't tried it yet, along with, this is new from the Balm. It is the Take Home the Bronze Anti-Orange Bronzer. Comes in 3 different shades. This one is in the shade Tony. They're named after like award shows. There's Grammy, Tony, and Oscar, but they always kind of name things after guys. So yeah, let's try this on this half of my face, and then I'll just kind of mix them together. I've been loving this brush, by the way, for bronzing. It is the MAC 140S. Oh, I think technically it's for foundation. No, it's for powder. Sorry, yeah, it's for powder. It came out with the Next to Nothing launch, or was like out with the Next to Nothing launch. So this is a really nice shade. The bronzer did look warmer than what I had expected for something that claimed to be not like anti-orange, but I don't find it orange on my skin. It's just warmer than I expected, but it's not too warm. It's a pretty true bronzer though. I am going to use the same brush. I cleaned it off in between. I mean, this isn't a science experiment. It's okay if we have a little contamination, but I think it's pretty clean. This one is a little deeper, as you can see. I like this one too. I'm so obsessed with bronzers. It's just so funny because it's something I never liked for a really long time. Or I just never understood. So I'm going to go in and just go with the Anastasia on this side just because it's deeper and it'll kind of even out. And for my brows, I never really mentioned this. Oh, this is not right. That's not the right thing. And for my brows, I never really mentioned this in videos. I don't know why, but I don't set my eyebrows until after I have bronzed, because I find that sometimes my bronzing can get in the way because I really go close to my brow. Sometimes I touch my brow. So I like to set my brows now in the process. But for some reason in Get Ready With Me's, I don't bother mentioning it. There's probably a video idea in that. Things I do that I don't mention for whatever reason. Just because it's easier, because I'm already talking about like what I put on my brows, what I shaped them with. So then I just follow up by saying that I use this, but most of the time I don't actually do it physically until my bronzing is done. So for my blush today, I'm going to be using something from the Quo 2018 collection, which is available at Shoppers Drug Mart. And this is their face palette in the shade Golden Girl. Really nice packaging. I'm going to be using the middle blush from here, this one right here. But this is a really pretty blush. I do really enjoy Quo's face products when I do get the chance to use them. For my highlight, I'm going to be using this newish palette to the drugstore. It is the Lumi True Match from L'Oreal. I'm going to try this goldy shade here, see what happens. I haven't used these yet. I don't know if this brush is the best choice. I might need something denser. Oh no. There she is. That's pretty. It's maybe a little yellow. Huh, no, that looks good. Okay, yeah, it is a little bit like of a strong kind of golden, like it's pulling pretty yellow gold. I don't hate that. I just don't like to look like I have a streak, so it's just a matter of kind of blending it into the rest of your face makeup. And for my lip, I'm going to be using my collaboration that just launched with Bite Beauty. It is called Ruse Meow. Just kidding. I went to the Bite Beauty Lip Lab a little while back. If you missed yesterday's vlog, P.S. thank you so much for all the support on my vlogs. If you haven't been watching them, I encourage you to go give them a try. If you hate them, you don't have to come back. But thank you so much for all the encouragement. And if you missed my vlog yesterday, I went to the Bite Beauty Lip Lab, and this is one of the lipsticks I created, and I called it Ruse Meow because, you know, she's my boo. And it's just, there's two lipsticks that I always wear and mix them together. It's Kat Von D Lolita and Tarte lip paint in Home Slice. So I kind of wanted to recreate that in a lipstick format so that I wouldn't have to mix it together. And this is just, it's such a good shade. How perfect is that? It's just the kind of shade that I can throw on, no problem. And then I also created another shade. It's called Bubs, which is what I call my boyfriend, which I realize is what a lot of people call their boyfriend. I don't know if it's like, I feel like I've seen a few YouTubers call their boyfriends Bubs, and I'm like, oh, I thought I was unique. Anyways, this one is a little bit more peachy, so I'm going to put this one in the center. The irony of me being like, I wanted a lipstick that I can just throw on, I don't have to wear anything with, and now I'm mixing those two lipsticks together. So here is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. It was probably a long, chatty one, so if you were getting ready for your day as well, I hope you have a great one. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!